We are in this wonderful anchorage just outside the heart of Annapolis, but we are packing up the boat. It's ready to leave and set sail for New York. We are so excited about that, and it looks like we have a pretty good weather window. So we will have 2 days at sea starting this afternoon. Everything down here is fixed and ready. It's just that we're going to flip the dinghy outside and then we're ready. But I see right now that I have forgotten to stow away the soap and the mirror in our bathroom. So I'm just going to do that real quick and then we're out of here.
Time to hoist anchor and leave this place. It's a pity though, it's a beautiful place, beautiful anchorage. We have really loved Annapolis, but now it's time to go and say hello to New York.
When we left Bahamas, we also left sandy seabeds behind. The ICW and the Chesapeake has treated us to dark, muddy bottoms. Anchoring in mud is a bit different from sand, and if the mud is too thin and silky, it can be a problem to get a proper holding, as the anchor will just glide through it. In other places, like this one, the mud is thick, providing excellent holding, but the anchor will come up all muddy and gross. That's why we have a water pump and hose in the bow, to rinse off the anchor with seawater. Leaving the mud on the anchor is not really a problem, but it becomes smelly in the chain locker, and for us, clean gear is always preferable, as it is nicer and easier to handle.
The anchor is up and we're on our way. Looks like we're going to have a pretty nice sail actually. Looks like flat waters and a broad reach hopefully, and then we will see after the bridge. Since we arrived to the US, we have passed quite many of these bridges. This one was quite big though, So no problem getting under it with Linnea's mast, but still always a bit special going under a bridge. They're quite massive.
These bridges are actually twice the height of the lowest bridges that we have gone under here in the US. So quite a lot bigger than the others.
Yeah. And there's one bridge going the traffic eastbound and one going westbound. So there's two of them just besides each other, parallel. So that's quite cool. The sailing right now is just beautiful. The Chesapeake really shows off, and we have flat waters, dead downwind, perfect conditions, just gliding along. So a really perfect day to leave the Chesapeake. Unfortunately, this will be our last sail for this time in the Chesapeake. It's been a really good time here. We have really liked the Chesapeake, even though we have had a bit of bad weather and are a bit early in the season. So we have been more or less the only boat sailing around some of the creeks. But yeah, anyway, we have had such a great time here. We have had some creeks for ourselves, and one of the best spots in the Chesapeake, just us. But today's sail, wow!
It's nice now that we sail a bit more north, that we have a lot more daylight. Not like in the Caribbean where it gets pitch black at 6 o'clock, like every day. Now we have like some light at least till 8:30, almost 9. And it gets even better, so it makes night sails a bit easier because the dark hours are not that many. So this is a great this is a great fact of sailing north. Time for dinner. As you can see, it's now dark outside. I have been down below for 2 hours trying to sleep. It was not very easy. It's never easy the first night to get sleep. But now I'm up. It's time to keep a lookout. And it's a lot different sailing like this coastal inland waterways when it's dark compared to offshore sailing. When you're offshore, you don't really have to keep track on basically anything. There's not very often there is anything around worth taking much notice to. But there's like navigational buoys everywhere. We're in a marked channel, so we just try to follow the blinking lights. But it is a lot different, and it will require a very sharp lookout for like the entire night today. So we just hope that we can get some rest tomorrow instead, I guess. We just took down the sails and started the engine. The wind disappeared completely, and we are getting really close to the C&D canal.
the canal that goes between the Chesapeake Bay and the Delaware River. And that means that we have a few hours ahead of us with the motoring through the canal. So it was pretty good timing that the wind disappeared now. But that means it's a lot more easier to keep a lookout, and the pace is a lot more even, and yeah, for this kind of night navigation it's a bit easier with the engine than going with the sails in this gusty winds, making the boat go from everything between like 5 knots to 8. So I'm continuing my night shift.
The sun is up again, and we have left the CD Canal and are cruising along south on Delaware River. Hopefully we can reach Cape May, the end of this river, out to the Atlantic before it gets dark, and then point our bow towards New York. It's a beautiful morning, dead calm, so we're still motoring, unfortunately, but there's no waves or nothing, so it's quite nice actually.
We have officially rounded Cape May. It's been a few hours here of really messy waves with the wind straight at our nose and just beating our way out through the cut here. But we just let out the sails, and that means that from here it's just smoother and smoother all the way to New York. This has been an utterly great and exhausting day. That beating out of the Delaware River really took on our energies, and the canal this night without being able to getting some proper rest. It's been a tough couple of 24 hours. And Marcus is right now down with a terrible headache, so he's taking the first hours to get some sleep, hopefully, and we keep our fingers crossed that he's feeling better in a couple of hours. I've just prepared the boat for the night, so I'm pretty well set out here to just keep watch these hours since we rounded the Cape May. It's been really easy sailing, so I'm just hoping it stays that way the entire night. But yeah, we'll see. The wind has been a bit up and down, so we just have to wait and see. But for now, all is good, and tomorrow we will arrive.
We're closing into New York. We have about 30 nautical miles left of this 250 nautical mile sail to New York. My headache has eased up, so I'm really happy for that. We have been able to swift shifts during the night, so we both can get some sleep. And now it's time for me to get some hours of sleep and Emmy is the one on the watch. Good morning.
Morning! Ah, it's cold. I don't know, it's been raining on my watch the entire night, just small drips, and it's still continuing, so I assume it has continued since I went to bed.
Yeah.
And it makes like this humid, kind of cold. Maybe we should start a heater for a few hours just to dry it out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
A lot of layers, but yeah, it's a good warm-up for Greenland.
Yeah, for sure.
We are getting really close, and the Manhattan skyline is like appearing from behind the clouds like a mystery shadow. It looks so cool, and this has been on the bucket list for quite some time. I have never been here, and it's been a dream to come to New York and to be able to do that with our own little boat. It's so cool. We have arrived! We are on the Brooklyn side in a mooring field, and this is where we'll be the next couple of days while we're exploring New York.
Anyone who has been in New York can probably relate to the feeling of arriving to the city for the first time, seeing in person all the iconic buildings that are the set of movies, series and books. But it's hard to describe the feeling of having accomplished getting here with our own boat, and my words cannot even begin to cover it. Please subscribe and join us in the next episode, where we drop the anchor just by the Statue of Liberty and sail along the East River as we continue our journey. Until then, fair winds.